Hey guys, Kotobukiya again, this time with a review of the Piledriver Gun, Tonfas, and Panzerfaust from Kotobukiya's Weapon Unit series. And let's immediately kick off with the most interesting of them all, the Panzerfaust. And that is because this is pretty much the ideal weapon for any Zeon unit. Also, this handle here allows it to fit into any 144 scale hand, and I literally mean any, because this is a very thin handle, which also kind of means that it will be a bit floppy, but because of the way you hold it, generally in over the shoulder angle, the floppiness will be drastically reduced. And you get two attachments. One is the normal Panzerfaust attachment, which looks very similar to the Sturmfaust, which I finally found. As you can see, they look very similar, and partially because of the name. Then the second attachment you get, and also when you remove it, it kind of looks like it just shot out, so you can even have a used Sturmfaust. So the second attachment is this newer variant that they can shoot off. And pretty much, from what I can recall, this little pike here is supposed to like penetrate reactive armor so that it can actually damage a tank which has reactive armor on it. So, to quickly put it on him, just slide in there. As I said, a little bit wobbly, but once you like angle it over the shoulder, no problem whatsoever. And well, of course it's still a bit wobbly, but that's no big deal at all. Actually, the only kits that are able to hold this without any wiggliness at all are the Victory Gundam kits. But it looks a little bit funny on them because of their size. So yeah, and there we go. On to the next weapon, and that the two Tonfas. And before we go on, I would like to say that these only fit with one pair of 144 scale hands, and those are the Victory Gundam hands. So they fit with these, but they fall out with all the rest. But there is of course a small fix for that. You simply use some tape, you wrap it around, and it will fit on the others. So why should you use tape? Because you can remove it afterwards if you decide that you don't want to use it anymore. So yeah, as is, these aren't going to do you a lot of good. I guess you could always, well, they would look pretty good with like a close combat mobile suit, or for example the G Gundam kits, which of course mainly focus on close combat. But like I said, as is, they're just going to fall out. With master grades, things get a little bit funny, because there's literally no rule on which master grades they will stick and on which they won't. For example, my Jim Kai here, which uses the old style hands, will not hold these, but my giant XS Gundam, which uses the same style of hands and which does not want to fit in screen, actually can use them. Then again, why would you want the XS Gundam having Tonfas? So yeah, also my 2.0 Zaku is also unable to hold them, though that might have something to do with the pegs. And no, I'm not going to try to cut off the pegs on my Zaku, because he has problems enough already holding his weapons. But I guess that if you cut off the pegs, it might work. Oh yeah, then slightly like the middle-aged hands, the ones on my Strike will actually hold them. So with master grades, it's really hit and miss. But then again, you can always try to just wrap some tape around it, and there you go. And the final weapon you get is the Piledriver Gun. This is, like I said, very interesting because it's a gun, but at the same time, it's a melee weapon. Pretty much what it does is it shoots out this little, well, it extends this pike and rams through enemy armor. And I have to say, the tip of this little spike is razor sharp. You could literally pierce someone's flesh with this, and it's not all that difficult. I mean, I have some dry skin on my arm, and literally if I would just do like this, actually a little bit of skin will come off. And as you saw, I hardly applied any force at all. So yeah, really be careful with this, because I mean, if you accidentally like just let your hand rest on it, it could literally go through your skin. So yeah, on to more happy things, how they fit into the hands. And quite nicely actually. With the newer style hands, they will sit pretty secure. They will be a little bit floppy, but if I can get them open, there we go. Put them in, and there you go. They're a little bit floppy, but yeah, that's not really mentionable. And they do sit very nicely in the hands, no problems at all. Though, be careful, because this is with the newer style tight hands. The older style open hands will be a little bit more floppy. There we go. So just open it up and put it in again, and as you can see, a bit on the floppy side, but it still works, so I'm just gotta aim it a little bit. Overall, not too bad, and a quite unique weapon. Gotta say, prior to this set, I had never heard of a Piledriver Gun before, but maybe that's just me. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, at 400 yen retail price, this is a kit I could definitely recommend to anyone who has a Xeon mobile suit. The Panzerfaust makes the perfect accessory for any Xeon mobile suit. It fits perfectly with their general design, so it's absolutely perfect. Then you've got the nice Tonfas, which require a little bit of work, but yeah, that work is pretty much wrapping some tape around it. So yeah, that's not really all that much, is it? So the Tonfas, also very nice. And then you've got the quite interesting Piledriver Gun. So yeah, it's a great little set for not a lot of money. Definitely recommend it. So that's all for this review, and see you at the next one.